Hey YouTubers, what's up? This is Mike and Garlic on
The Veteran and Pinay Life. Good morning. Early morning here in California. So for today, we're gonna talk about why we are retiring in the Philippines.
Today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of why we retire in the Philippines, or actually why we are retiring in the Philippines. And the first and foremost thing is looking at the pace of the environment that we live in. And we live in Northern California, and it's just fast paced. I go down to San Diego towards the southern town, you know, big Navy town, and it's fast paced down there. When I went back to the Philippines, it was more of what I was brought up on the island of Guam. It was island type, laid back culture. We'll get it when we get it. It's like the mentality is like, yeah, we'll be there when we get there. And that's kind of where we wanted to be. I mean, we've been living fast paced for the entire working career.
I'm used to that.
I just want to chill. And I think the move is basically deciding on retiring in the Philippines was basically me. I'm the main driver on it. Oh, but
yeah.
My wife's still on the edge on that. You know, but we always have the recourse to come back. We can always, you know, we live in the Philippines and then jump on a plane and get back to the U.S. We can fly back, or if things get really bad, we can always bounce back over to Guam, which is only about a 3 or 4 hour flight, so be scared.
Maybe what he's saying is that, excuse me, is that he's on his retiring phase, and I still want to work, you know, something like that. I grew up in the city, so I'm using fast-paced life, and then I still want to work, but I understand his point. He wants me to be hands-on with Micaela, which is much better. I still want to work, but I can't do it, so he gave me an option to put up a business. So
it's not that she can't do it. I think a focus should be on the little one.
Yeah.
And we don't really need to, but if we want to, then to entertain our professional desire to move on something, then that's fine. But I think being in the Philippines, we were more in a laid-back culture. That family orientation is just like Guam. I mean, you don't let we call our elders manamko. We don't let our elders just go off into a twilight zone, a healthcare home or whatever. We kind of stick with them. They live with us to the end of their days, and I kind of hope I'm that way too. I hope when I can't go scuba diving or go diving anywhere, my wife doesn't just roll me off on a cliff so I can visit the sharks. But we won't do that.
Why you say that?
No, that's just a mentality. You know, when you get nothing, you start.
I will put him in home. Our home.
Our home. Another reason we picked the Philippines was the location. Geographically, we went on travel in the Orient. I mean, I did a lot of Westpac, a lot of station overseas time, and I didn't really get to see some of the areas I really wanted to see. Like, for example, we pulled into Thailand, I flew into Bangkok, wherever, but it was always operational commitments first. And, you know, if you had to be on a flight or a pre-flight by 4 o'clock in the morning, that means you were limited on what you could do. So there were some areas in Thailand I'd like to visit. In Vietnam, we'd like to go to Japan together.
Singapore.
I love Japan, but being way out here in the West Coast, you know, you're doing that track or that airfare, just getting there is a grip. But so I think the location in the Philippines was ideal. I mean, that's why the U.S. Navy decided to move back into Subic because of issues over in that area. That's more a reason we're doing it, except our drive is more of a vacation type orientation. Another item we considered was food. You know, food. I can get food here in the U.S., but I love Filipino food because it's the same almost to what I was raised up on.
Yeah.
Guam is almost the same thing. We call fatada is the
dinuguan.
Dinuguan to them.
Pork blood stew.
That or the kiliguan.
Kilawan.
They call it kilawan. It's the same. So I'm all good with that.
They love rice as well.
Yeah, but I can't eat rice hardly now. The weather. The weather was a big one. Nothing more I hate here in Northern California. And I know I'm not in Wisconsin or somewhere like that where you're digging out snow. But I'm not in the cold weather. I'll frankly admit it. I hate cold weather. And then I hate the extreme hot weather. Now I know in the Philippines it's warm, hot, and humid, but it's that way almost throughout the year.
You will put a lot of aircon.
So we pick in an area where the elevation is not too bad, and Batangas area where we decided to move is probably a good spot. Baguio was the first time I had to even think about contemplating on putting a jacket on. Early morning in Baguio got kind of cold, but you know,
not really.
It wasn't that bad. Not like it is here. I mean, I have to wear so many jackets, so when I try to get my arm inside an area in the car to, you know, do auto repair or whatever, I have to take my jacket off, then I'm freezing my nuts off.
What more if you're in the East Coast? Because I've been in the East Coast, it's really bad. As in, sometimes it's negative 12 degrees, something like that. Oh, good morning!
We have an added guest here.
As you can see, she just woke up.
Yes. Let's see, the cons of retirement, and there was a lot of consideration on it, and I hear a lot of YouTube bloggers saying the same thing, is the infrastructure kind of sucks. And, you know, you looked at healthcare, Medicare won't be there, but I have military TRICARE there, so I'll have to get along with, or get in touch with some of the expats over there and see how they're doing it, but I'm sure it's workable. If anything critical, hard comes down, and where the facilities was another con, is critical care, healthcare needs. You know, a lot of Filipinos I know here are flown over here, and then they stay over here because the healthcare facilities are a lot more intense, or availability. And if it gets that bad, guess what? I'm just going to get on a plane and just fly over to Guam, and I got a big brand new Naval Air Force Hospital, Naval Hospital Guam. And you know, I'll do it from there. But other than that, that was good. The evacuation services, you know, we're not going to have 911 available.
Yep.
And you know, the evacuation system, like your ambulance, your what do you call those guys? Paramedics. So
don't get us wrong. They have it there, but not accurate or not that big like here.
But then again, we don't know if that'll last here, the way the society's going on. Another thing we looked at was brownouts. I mean, brownouts, I did that on Guam where we had power outages often. But then I came here to the States, and I rarely got it. And the only time we lost power here is because they were doing repairs on a power line, or we had the Northern California fires that you call. And you know, certain areas they shut power down and whatever. But so as long as we can deal with that, you have a backup generator, plenty of ice, no problem, easy. So those are some of the things that we were looking at while we retired in the Philippines. If you have anything you can add or any advice, we greatly appreciate it. We welcome it too as well. So that's all we got for this blog.
Yeah,
so all of you stay safe, smile. Remember, life is too short to just drag on something negative. Go to the positive side, and peace be with you all. Let's say shout out.
And before we go, we want to make a shout out to 808 Lynn. Miss Lynn, hello. I don't know how to make it, but she guessed where we get the property.
It's like I had a post-it pad on my forehead that said, "This is where we live."
Yeah, so she got it right. Lipa City, Batangas.
So maybe I need to get a hold of you, so when we play the California Lotto, maybe you might have some insight. A special shout out and thanks for a guy reaching out, a fellow veteran. His name is Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
And his wife Charina of Charina Wheelock Blogs. Hello guys, thank you so much for reaching out to us. Yeah. We really appreciate it.
It's good to know that I got fellow veterans out there. You know, we always have that veteran bond that's tight, and I hope it stays that way. And I look forward to meeting you guys all there.
we're gonna visit you in Bataan, and you're gonna visit us in Lipa, Batangas.
I'm really looking forward to meeting them. And it'd be great. Any advice? I know they've already went through the move, and I'm relying on other veterans out there to get connected and make this retirement journey a success. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, stay safe.
Stay safe. Thank you. Bye.
Ready? 1,
2, 3.
3.
I thought you would do that one.